as you can see, we have the maintenance notice and update details for Marvel Future Fight. It's coming a day later than usual, but a couple hours earlier than I expected, considering the fact that yesterday, or rather today, depending on when you're watching this, was Chinese New Year, and I believe the Koreans celebrate the same New Year, the Lunar New Year, as the Chinese do. So that's why the patch notes are delayed a day, but they came a couple hours earlier than I expected. So we're gonna be going through it, and it does have some surprises, some major surprises if I do say so myself. So with this update, we're gonna be getting 3 new uniforms. Adam Warlock is getting his tier 3, Gamora and Drax are getting awakened skills, and you're going to be able to transcend those characters. But the major shocker here is, guys, the danger room is actually closing. I don't know if this is a permanent closure, and I hope it's not. I'm not going to turn this into a 30-minute rant video about why Danger Room is an asset to the game, but I will say this: I really hope that the devs reconsider, because Danger Room is a really good way to socialize with people who are not on your friends list or in your alliance, and you're able to test your characters against everybody, granted they enter the Danger Room. So you can really see if you have the best version of that character, or where you can improve in terms of doing more damage, getting better with your skill rotation and your timing and stuff. We don't have enough co-op game modes in Marvel Future Fight is essentially what I'm saying. So taking away one of those co-op game modes, I don't think is a good thing, because co-op play is not really co-op. Everybody runs it at auto play, and then World Boss Invasion, that's not really co-op, because everybody just plays that for like 1 second literally and the boss dies. So Danger Room Extreme, or Danger Room in general, and Giant Boss Raid are the only 2 co-op game modes where you get to interact with players, you talk to them, you can strategize sometimes, right? Saying, yo, I'm gonna run a leadership, you run a support, I'll do DPS, or maybe we'll do triple DPS to see who scores the highest and that kind of stuff, right? So it's really sad to see them take away Danger Room. I'm not too sure what prompted this, but we did have a survey about a month ago, maybe a little bit more than that, asking about Danger Room changes, and maybe the complaint was the game mode was taking too much time, but I don't think that this is what they should have done. They are making some changes, so you're not going to be losing all of the rewards from here, but I do believe you're going to be losing the rewards that you have gotten if you were placing in the top 100, or like getting to Vibranium every week, because you'd be getting anywhere from 200 to 600 biometrics, or X genes if you will. So I think this is a major downside of this update. I hope they reconsider, because this social aspect of Danger Room I really enjoy, and I think if they wanted to make it so that this wasn't a mandatory thing, because maybe people say, hey, I don't like having to play with other players every single day for Danger Room, fine. They could have taken this away from the challenge list like they are doing, right? And just left it in the game as content that you do just because you want to, just like story mode, right? I don't know why they're taking it out of the game. I honestly don't agree with that. I think what they should have done here is added Mandalay gem fragments, or maybe crystals in here, and then added new boss, maybe 1 new boss every year or so, you know, Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, Sabretooth, Juggernaut. There's so many iconic X-Men villains that they could have added to Danger Room. I don't know why they took it away, because I feel as though we're just scratching the surface of this game mode and its potential here. It's quite sad. Anyways, so bad news out the way, good news, major surprise, a new World Boss Legend. I was wondering when it was going to happen and who it was going to be. It is actually none other than Ultron with the Infinity Stones. This is amazing because of the fact that this tells us that characters that already exist in the game can actually get a World Boss Legend stage in the future. This is amazing. It means Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet and his new uniform, maybe that would warrant them giving us a legendary stage for Thanos, right? There's plenty of characters that are powerful enough in the game already for them to actually justify a World Boss Legend stage. Also, I am going to speculate here. I have no insider knowledge on this, but granted, I think this would be a really cool thing, so I will say it. The fact that Ultron actually got a World Boss Legend stage says to me that Ultron should be getting a uniform, if not for the mid-month patch, I would say sometime later this year. We saw that when they released Null a couple months later, the Null World Boss Legend that is. A couple months later, we got Null in the game. Same thing for Mephisto. Mephisto World Boss Legend came in, and then a couple months later, you were able to unlock Mephisto. This time around though, Ultron is already in the game, so you're not going to be able to unlock him from World Boss Legend, but his uniform, if you will, is a thing that could be created based off of him now having the Infinity Stones. And in addition to that, later in the patch notes, you're going to see that they're giving away an artifact for Ultron and an icon as well. So I really believe strongly that we'll be seeing a uniform for Ultron very soon. And that's very amazing because he was one of the first tier 2 characters that I ever ranked up in this game. And I know, just like many of you guys, Ultron is a fan favorite for you. So moving on, new artifact, new future pass, special icons, and then they're fixing other stuff in the game. They upgraded the maintenance reward from a regular 5-star chest to a 6-star chest. That's pretty good. Boost points still 50, energy still 100. The game is going to be down for 8 hours or so, so plan your day accordingly. I would say, since we're getting a new World Boss Legend, do not play World Boss at all if you want to try and unlock these bosses, or this boss if you will, as quickly as possible. There are going to be challenges that require you to play against Mephisto and Null, but you can pay crystals to skip those and play against Ultron day 1. That being said, let's jump over here and take a look at the update details. So we already ran over the fact that Gamora, Drax, and Adam are all getting power-ups. Their uniforms are going to be on sale for 40% off. Let's take a look at Adam Warlock's uniform now. So superhero, his uniform, because he's a tier 2 native, big boy, he's going to be 1,500 crystals on sale and 2,000 crystals when it's not on sale. You should never ever buy this uniform if it's not on sale. That's 1,000 crystals. That's enough to buy a whole nother uniform. Okay, so do keep that in mind. If you're gonna get Adam Warlock and get his uniform, now is the time, or wait until April when it's a 50% discount on all of the uniforms for the anniversary. Moving on, Adam Warlock's uniform effect is absolutely amazing. It's giving him 15% chain hit damage when he's attacking all the time, 5% additional pierce. This is the second character we've seen get additional pierce that is not a tier 2 native. So we've seen it for Athena, and now we're seeing it for Adam Warlock. This is going to make him really strong. And in addition to that, he has immunity to guard break. This is amazing. So if you want to build him for PvE and still have PvP value here, immunity to guard break is definitely going to help him. It's going to take him a long way. The thing is, he's titled as a creature, so that might limit how much use you get out of him in PvE, especially since now Danger Room isn't something we can justify as content for people to rank up characters. Like some characters that can one-shot in Danger Room, their value is going to go down, so that Danger Room no longer exists. Okay, moving on. His tier 2 passive actually has 70% chance to penetrate everything, and then it decreases all basic damage received by 25%. That is actually really good. Previously, this was a 40% chance, and it was on a 10-second cooldown, and it was only for 3 seconds. So the fact that he can now penetrate everything all the time, and it's a 70% chance, and then in addition to that, he takes 20% less damage, rather 25% less damage. That's actually really good. His first skill previously did not have the stun on it, but I believe it was still 7 seconds. Let me just double check in game. Actually, it was 5 seconds, so the cooldown time on his one actually goes up. His second skill now has a counter attack, which is really good. It does have iframe ignore as well, so that's pretty good as well. And then he has incapacitation, he has paralysis, he heals. This is every 6 seconds if you cut the cooldown time in half by maxing out your skill cooldown. This is actually really good. So he's gonna have debuff immunity 5 out of 6 seconds, and then he's gonna be able to heal himself for 20% of his max HP every 6 seconds. That's actually really good. Better 2 skill than he ever had, that's for sure. Moving on to his third skill, he gets 6 seconds of invincibility and 12 seconds of damage accumulation. That is a lot. This means that you're able to keep up his damage accumulation from the start of the fight until the end of the fight, because this is going to be on a 9-second cooldown. Doesn't look very proc friendly, but you could make it work. If you look at all of his skills here, actually, they're not very proc friendly. 12 seconds, that's not very proc friendly. Usually you want to see 14 or 15 seconds, maybe 16 seconds. 18 is a little bit too much. So it looks like if you want to use him and use all of his skills, Rage might be the way to go. But he does not actually get, let me just double check. Yeah, he doesn't get Ignore Dodge, so that is a bummer. I'll have to check his artifact after, but he gets 6 seconds of invincibility versus the random damage immunity that he could get if he got hit from his old third skill. This is a massive improvement. You can continually fire his third skill, whatever it is now, and then on top of that, he gets 6 seconds of damage immunity here, so that's a lot of protection for Adam, and he gets a 20 hit guard. Wow. Guys, it looks like you're going to be able to build Adam for anything you want. Lots of survivability here. The only thing that could have been better, this could have been like a 30 or 40% heal, but it doesn't have to be because he still gets to keep his original 4-star passive that made him revive with 70% of his max HP. So he could revive and you could hit your 2 skill, and just like that, you're up to 90% of your max HP. So yeah, Adam looks very, very powerful. On his 5th skill here, he actually gets 20% attack and 70% defense, 20% all speed there. It's actually pretty good. A lot of defense. They definitely want to make him a super tank. Okay, we'll see how that works out for him. Moving on to Gamora. It's a 1050 uniform. She's a speed super villain. So now we have competition for Bullseye and Corvus. If I were a betting man, I would say Bullseye is more than likely going to get replaced, and the only place you're going to be using him is in squad battle, because Gamora is actually an alien, and for squad battle you need humans. You need speed villain humans, okay? Moving on, her leadership. Almost good enough to challenge the Black Cat uniform, but they made sure to make it 55 instead of 65. So if you didn't get the Black Cat uniform, you're still going to be a little bit behind if you're trying to get the top score compared to the whales who got the Black Cat uniform. So Black Cat is not losing her value. That's actually pretty good. Moving on, her passive here is actually quite interesting. It's very similar to Moonstone, where there's this 5-second cooldown and she actually has silence. So this is definitely created for ABX. This bleed thing, just kind of useless. To be honest, bleed doesn't do much in the game. Her tier 2 passive, however, as you can see right here, is absolutely nuts. It only applies to herself though, but it's still fantastic. 45% extra damage to heroes and villains, and then we get skill damage and bonus damage increased by 45 and 35% respectively. That is absolutely amazing. 1 skill has nothing, 2 skill has paralysis, so we already have 2 things covered for ABX. We got paralysis and we got silence. What's next? What you got for me next, Netmarble? Moving on, we have 100% chance to penetrate everything for 1 second on her Infinity Slash, and then she has damage accumulation. It's 1% for 7 seconds. This is a 15-second cooldown, so you cut that in half with skill cooldown time, and you are looking at 7.5 seconds. So pretty much the entire fight, you're able to keep up the damage accumulation with Gamora. I don't believe this skill has any kind of burn, does it? Nope. Nope, it has bind. Okay, let's see if we have stun, incapacitation, 60% chance to penetrate everything for 3 seconds, immunity to damage, increasing all basic attacks by 35% for 5 seconds, just shy of the 12-second cooldown that you can cut in half, which is going to reduce it to 6 seconds. So they're making it so there's a 1 second or half a second gap between her buffs, so you're going to need to use those skills regularly to refresh the buffs. Moving on, what do we have here? We have poison, stun, and a chance for the enemy's attacks to miss. So unfortunately, I am not seeing any burn here, so you're gonna need someone to cancel for her in the burn season, unfortunately. All right, so we have 15% HP recovery. That's good, but frankly, for high stages, you need more than 15%. That's one of the reasons why Sharon Rogers, as you get higher and higher and higher, you struggle to keep her alive, because 15% max HP, even if you have a lot of HP on your cards, 15% sometimes is just not enough. But it's nice that she can heal. Okay, some healing is better than no healing. Moving on, we have all basic attacks and defenses being increased by 40%. Crit rate is being increased by 40% as well. We get some incapacitation here. Oh, it removes incapacitation. Excuse me. That's, yo, Gamora's uniform, definitely gonna be meta. Moving on, Adam, we already know is gonna be meta. Drax, however, guys, superhero 1050 uniform, alien male. This guy looks like he's not necessarily going to be a PvE character because he doesn't get damage accumulation, but it looks like he's going to be a PvP monster. I would say Blue Marvel 2.0. You can see right here, decreases all basic damage received from supervillains by 60%. Same thing for heroes as well. So it's just basically, if you're a hero or a villain, you do 60% less damage to Drax off rip, and then he increases his skill damage and his bonus damage by 40 and 30% respectively. That is absolutely amazing. Moving on to his leadership, I am very, very happy that they kept this leadership. I said so in my first video when I saw that we were getting a uniform for Drax. I said I would love to see them keep this leadership for him, and they did, and they increased it. It's actually 45% more HP when Drax is in the leadership role by himself, 55% when it's 2 combat characters on the team, and then 65% if Drax is the leader and you have all combat characters on your team. The only way this could be better in my eyes is if this also granted debuff removal, because this is amazing for Alliance Conquest. Okay, I'm definitely gonna be running Drax, and here's the thing, Drax also gets debuff removal, so he doesn't need it as a leadership, but the other 2 combat characters that you're gonna run him with, they're gonna need debuff removal, so do keep that in mind. Moving on, when attacking, Drax actually decreases all basic attacks of the enemy by 10%. It stacks up to 30%, and that's a 10-second duration. It doesn't say anything about a cooldown time, so I believe this is just going to constantly keep applying. It decreases their resistance as well, and same goes for the defense down. It actually stacks up to 50% and is a 10-second duration. Drax is actually getting a massive buff between the uniform bonus, the leadership, and the passives. It's a night and day rework for him already, and we're not even done yet. So moving on to his tier 2 passive, he decreases damage received by reflect, so you can't hope to kill him off the reflect just because he's reducing your damage if you're a hero or a villain. 60% less damage taken from reflect. It says effect is physical, so maybe it only works for physical damage, I'm not too sure, but he actually has ignore dodge, which is really good because he's a combat type. So his native enemy would be Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is a speed type. We might have already gotten a counter for Spider-Man, ladies and gentlemen. Spider-Man has been very, very toxic this week in timeline battle, and we might be looking at a full counter for him already in the eyes of Drax. Who would have thought? Moving on, we have stun here on the first skill. Oh, by the way, I forgot to point this out here. Increases damage dealt to targets with the mockery effect by 70%. So if he taunts you and you're coming for him, which you will be because he taunted you, you're going to take 70% more damage. Drax is going to eat Spider-Man if all of this transfers over in game, because on paper he looks like a demon, boys. Moving on, we got stun on the first skill, stun on the second skill, we got stun, silence, and the mockery effect on the third skill. And then as you can see right here, here's where Drax takes it to the next level. By the way, since this is the second character that has mockery, some of you guys may not know what it does. Basically, mockery forces the opponent to attack the caster. So when Drax pops this skill, if it's 3-on-3, all of the characters on the enemy team is going to immediately focus all of their attention, all of their attacks onto Drax. And here's the thing, this cannot be removed by debuff removal. So this is going to protect your other 2 characters from attacks. Drax is going to take all of those hits to himself, and he has, as you can see right here, a 60% damage reduction. And if you're running him with his leadership, he has 65% more HP on top of that. And then take a look right here, ladies and gentlemen. It increases the enemy's attacks, but there is a 100% chance to not receive super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immunity, and invincibility for 9 seconds. So basically, the enemy's not going to be able to protect themselves while they're attacking Drax. Sure, they'll have a 10% attack buff, but guess what? When Drax pops this skill, he's going to heal himself for 40% off his HP for 2 seconds, which means he's going to heal 80% of his HP, which is already going to be insane because of this leadership. Plus, he's going to be taking less damage from them because of the fact that his uniform effect is always going to be applied, and he's going to be taking 60% less damage. If this transfers over, man, it's going to be absolutely amazing to roll people over, have them go belly up with Drax Force. Now, there's a 9-second cooldown on it, so do keep that in mind. It's not something you can spam, but still, every 9 seconds you'll be able to heal yourself for 80% of your HP, and then you'll be able to remove all debuffs from yourself. It's gonna be mental, steamrolling people in PvP with Drax. Drax PvP video coming, boys. I'm excited. Anyways, moving on, we got stun. He's a stun machine, okay? Then he removes all active buffs from target. In addition to that, he paralyzes people and it applies in world boss. It's 5 seconds. In addition to that, he has super armor and he increases all of his basic defenses by 40% for 7 seconds. He's immune to all damage for 6 seconds, and he increases his attacks and defenses again. This is crazy, bro. How much attack? No, the attack is good, but how much defense are they gonna give this man? There's 40% here, and then there's 30% here. If they're stackable, that's a lot of defense. You guys know I don't care for defense in Marvel Future Fight. I've never really seen where it makes that big of a difference, but geez, between all the reduction, giving him more defenses, that might actually make a big difference. 50% attack is nice, the all speed is good, and he's immune as well. That's crazy, man. And then down here, as you can see, stun again, silence, and he gets a 70% chance to penetrate everything for 8 seconds, 6 seconds of invincibility, 45% attack and defense again, and then he gets all speed, crit rate, and he removes incapacitation for 8 seconds. Guys, this is a lot. Drax is actually a monster, or at least on paper he looks like a monster. All 3 of these uniforms actually look really, really good. Moving on, so we have Adam Warlock's tier 3. Doesn't really look like anything spectacular. It decreases the enemy's defenses, stacks up to 70%, and it ignores immunity. It's an 8-second duration. He has invincibility for 10 seconds, and he gets a 40% attack buff for 10 seconds. It's okay. He basically just throws a moon at you. You know how Thanos threw a planet at you? Adam Warlock just basically becomes the size of a god. He just reaches into outer space and then freaking throws a moon at you. Anyways, moving on. I'm not too sure why we don't get to see. Oh, it's down here. I was gonna say why we don't get to see the team up or awaken skill between Drax and Gamora. Looks pretty cool. Just basic text here. Nothing really to write home about for their awakened skills. Moving on, so they're talking about Danger Room here. I basically gave you guys the gist of it already. They're removing it from the game, and the rewards for the final season will be given. So if you were playing Danger Room, whatever rank you achieve, they're gonna give you a chest. So like if you were top 100, you'll get a top 100 chest. If you're a Vibranium, you can get a Vibranium chest. So if you want to push really quickly before Danger Room goes, you can definitely jump in and start playing some matches and get a high rank, so you can get one final chest from there. Because as you see, the reward will be distributed during the maintenance. So with Danger Room being removed from the game, they're actually improving the shield support, because before you could get stuff like gold, Mcron crystals, Mcron shards, and Phoenix feather from the shield support by playing Danger Room. However, in addition to that, they're actually going to be giving away the shield support chests to everyone for 15 days. As you can see right here, if you log in after maintenance, there's going to be a shield support chest waiting for you. I believe it's going to be a 14-day subscription. And don't worry, if you already have the shield support effect applied like myself, this is going to be in your inbox for 15 days. So basically long enough for the shield support that you do already have to expire and for you to pick up the other one, because shield support, this thing right here, only ever lasts for 14 days. So that's why they're giving it away for 15 days in case, let's say you bought it today, you can still use up your subscription and then get the free subscription, because this is a 15-day timer. Now, in addition to that, as you can see right here, before, these were the rewards that you were getting from the shield support pack, but after, they're saying you're going to be able to get Norn Stone of each type. You're going to be getting rank 1 black antimatter, Norn Stones of chaos, Mcron crystals, Mcron shards, and Phoenix feathers. So basically they removed the gold from here. I don't like that personally. I would have preferred if they kept gold instead of the Norn Stones, because let's be real, how many of you guys are lacking in these Norn Stones? Not that many of you guys, especially with dispatch missions being a thing. I would prefer to get as much gold as possible. I personally think you can never have too much gold, but it is what it is. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. With Danger Room being removed, where are the X genes going to go? Well, as you can see right here, the contribution chest from Danger Room is actually going to be added to Dimension missions. As you can see, Dimension mission rewards are improved so that X genes and biometrics can be acquired. Now, this might be good and bad. I'm not too sure, because if it's in the chest with other biometrics from other characters, it will be harder for you to get these X genes versus before, when the X genes were isolated by themselves in Danger Room. Because if you take a look right up here, it says the 8th step will be added to Dimension mission contribution rewards, where X genes and biometrics can be acquired through a contribution chest. So it sounds like they're lumping the X genes in with the regular biometrics, which sounds like it's going to be a problem, because of the fact that if these were isolated by themselves in Danger Room, you have a higher probability of getting them versus if they're in here with 220 other characters. So that's kind of a bummer. The contribution chest will be distributed according to the agent level, divided into section from 1 to 110. Different amount of X genes and biometrics will be acquired depending upon the chest. So that's kind of a bummer. Moving on. Danger Room related challenges have been modified. Danger Room participation, victory, and quest challenges have been deleted. So it really looks like they're taking it out of the game permanently, but I hope they're just taking it out of the challenges, because they plan to bring it back in a couple months. The rewards and challenge points that have already been acquired will not be changed. Please be sure to receive the rewards for finished challenges before the update. The Danger Room victory mission for Daily, Alliance, World Boss, Heroic Quest, Shield Academy, Epic Quest, and other challenges will be changed to Dispatch, Giant Boss Raid, Story, and others. The mission count will not be changed when the challenge is in progress, and acquired rewards will not be changed. Danger Room has been removed from the game guide, event points, alliance effects, content board, and others. Yeah, it looks like it's dead, boys. It looks like it's gone. The fact that they removed it from everywhere, including the game guide, says it is probably gone and it's never coming back unless we really make a stir about it. That's unfortunate. Let's move on. We have new World Boss Legend, Infinity Ultron. Ultron upgraded with the Infinity Stones has arrived. Prepare for the threat of the new supervillain inspired by Marvel Studios' What If. This is really good, because this tells us that the Marvel Studios' What If series that has like Peggy Carter and Star-Lord as Black Panther could actually make it into Marvel Future Fight. How dope would it be to see Black Panther as Star-Lord? I don't know who would get the uniform. I guess it would be T'Challa that gets the Star-Lord uniform, but either way, that is really cool. So the What If series could actually get multiple updates, or multiple characters from the What If series could be added to Marvel Future Fight, whether as solo characters like Peggy Carter or as a uniform for existing characters. That's really cool. So the new World Boss Legend, Infinity Ultron, has been added. Agents can enter with a team of 3 consisting of tier 3 or transcended heroes. So obviously it's the same as the other World Boss Legends. After clearing the challenges, tier 2 heroes can be set as 5 allied characters. Okay, cool. So basically these are the challenges, or at least these are the ones that they're showing us here. There may be others, or these might just be the only ones. Okay, you have to play Null 5 times and play Mephisto 5 times. So if you don't want to use crystals, it's going to take you 2 days. But I'm probably going to just complete it right away so I can jump in and fight Ultron, because to be honest, I'm tired of fighting Null and Mephisto. It's been a year, more for Null even, so I want to fight something else. Anyways, as you can see right here, it says Infinity Ultron is much stronger than the existing World Boss Legends. Superior skills and proper preparation will be needed to face him. Let's find out if that's actually the case, if I just one-shot every phase with Moonstone. Anyways, I'm not the majority, so it's fine. There's plenty of players that are still going to struggle with this, even if I can one-shot it. Well, can't really one-shot World Boss Legend, you know what I mean, like one-shot each phase straight to the cutscene. But it'll be interesting to go in with all of my characters and see if from the 100 plus tier 3 / transcendent characters, how many of them can actually beat Infinity Ultron. I'm going to challenge myself this time around. Anyways, clear the new world boss Legend Infinity Ultron to receive various rewards. Search for potential tier 2 and tier 3 advancement materials, CTF reforging, conqueror level points, and others will be given. The acquisition of cosmic cube fragments will be guaranteed just like the other ones. A mighty CTP of destruction can be acquired. That's actually really good. Let's see how many we actually get. I think I got one regen from Mephisto, and that was pretty much it. So it'll be interesting to see if I can actually snag a couple of destruction from Ultron. So it would be a special victory icon as a first clear reward for defeating level 1 against Ultron. In addition to that, there's going to be a chance for you to get, that's actually really bad, a chance for you to get anywhere from a 4 to a 6-star artifact for Ultron. Ultimate life form. That sucks, man. It should have just been a 6-star. Just give us a guarantee. But some people are gonna get 6 stars and they're gonna be super happy, and then they're gonna talk to their friend and they're gonna be like, yo, I only got a 4-star. You know, and there's a big difference between the 4 and the 6 between some of these artifacts. Don't know how strong his is gonna be. We're gonna take a look at that later on. Biometrics for Ultron will not be given. I don't know why, but it is what it is. That's because Ultron's already in the game and it's easy enough to get his bio, so it's not that big of a deal. But moving on, this is what the uniform, or I guess it's not a uniform, this is what Infinity Ultron looks like. So this is more than likely gonna be what he looks like when he gets a uniform. I would be shocked, I would be dumbfounded, I would be flabbergasted if by the end of 2022 we don't get a new uniform for Ultron that looks like this. They're basically just going to see how people react to seeing Ultron like this, and then they'll be like, we could probably make some money off this. That's 1050 times a million people who love Ultron. That's a lot of crystals being spent. Some of that is definitely going to be people buying crystals, people even coming back to the game to get this uniform for Ultron. Anyways, new challenges related to the new world boss Legend Infinity Ultron has been added, and now we have the artifacts. So let's take a look. Gamora, ignore dodge 20%, that's okay. And then when the enemy's HP is 50% or below, she actually deals 25% more damage. Drax, actually, when he's hit, he increases his basic attack by 5%, and it stacks all the way up to 70%. 12-second duration, 3-second cooldown. Is it a 3-second cooldown after he hits the 70% stack? Or is there a 3-second cooldown since the last time he was hit and he got 5%? We have to wait and see how this works, but this is really cool, man. Drax gets a lot of defensive stuff in his build, so the fact that they're giving him an artifact to give him more attack tells me that they want to create some type of balance with this character. And to be honest, it looks like Drax's kit doesn't require his artifact. Same goes for Gamora as well, so that's really good. Moving on, Adam Warlock actually surprisingly did not get the undead artifact like I thought they were going to give him, like Null, Wolverine, Hela, and Mr. Sinister. In fact, what they actually did here, I personally like. It would have been really corny if they just copied the same thing that they've been giving to PvP characters and gave it to Adam Warlock. Now granted, this is something that generally they give the characters passively, but Adam Warlock was created without it, so them giving this to him as his artifact, it's good and bad, right? It'll be interesting to see how the heal works. Is it going to be 0.5% at like 3 stars, and then 1% at 4 star, and then 1.5% at 5 star? Like how is this going to scale? I think it should be at least 1% at 3 star, and then scaled by 0.5 after that. Point is, Adam Warlock will now heal himself when his HP drops below 99%, just like Wolverine and several other characters like him. So moving on, we have Ultron. This one is very interesting, and this also tells me that Ultron absolutely has to be getting something, because why go through the trouble of creating an artifact for a character that does not have a tier 3 or a transcendent? There's just really no incentive for people to go out of their way to get the 6-star version, because if, let's say they go and they play World Boss Legend and they get the 4-star variant, well, it doesn't even matter, because Ultron is a tier 2 character and you're not going to really be using him for anything anyways, right? So if they give him a tier 3 and he's actually really good with a cool looking uniform, if you have the 4-star, maybe you love him enough, you go gamble, try and get a 6-star. Right? Anyways, point is, for Ultron, as you can see right here, 15% chance when he's attacking. He gets a 100% chance to ignore iframe, and then on top of that, you can see right here, he gets a 30% attack roll. So that's actually pretty good. Moving on, the Future Pass is going to have special icons for Big Nova and Cosmic Ghost Rider. We got the tokens coming back. Besides that, this is staying as the Mega Mythic Uniform ticket, which is good. There's an icon for Adam that wasn't mentioned before, but I guess this is going to be coming in the mid-month event shop. It's okay. I probably won't go after it. Making some changes to CTPs so you can see the reforge option. You can see the best options and everything. This is actually really good because sometimes you get a good roll and you're like, this is the best roll, right? And then you have no way to check unless you re-roll again or re-roll another CTP. So it's nice that you can now see what the max stats are at all times. That's pretty good. Moving on, this is one that I actually made a video about, guys. This is absolutely amazing. As you can see right here, they took my advice and they're actually giving us, as you can see, preset slots. You can save teams, boys. You can save teams in AC. It's only 10, but it's a start. Now, Marvel, if you want to make some money here, go ahead and bump this up to 30 or 40 slots and sell some of the slots. I know some of you guys gonna be like, yo, why you want them to make money? I want them to keep working on AC, bro. Right? So they give us a little bit, we give them some. They give us some more, we give them some. That's how it works. You know, one hand feeds the other. So they give us 10 free slots. I want them to go ahead and add 30, 40, because here's the thing. These 10 slots can only fit 60 characters. There's 248 characters in the game. I would love to be able to preset all of my teams ahead of time. Makes AC takes less time, personally. So now, Marvel, if you want to sell another 30 slots, go ahead, man. Go ahead, get down with your best. So keep working on AC. Anyways, the rest of this is just basically improvements that they're making to stuff. I'm not going to drag the video out anymore. From the looks of it, they're improving a lot of things. You guys can read through that in your own time. I'll leave a link to the post here in the description of the video. And then they're also going to be fixing some stuff like Valkyrie's third skill not countering when enemies attack her. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. I know, very, very long video, but man, these patch notes are actually really good and really bad at the same time because it's a shame to lose Danger Room. But I'm gonna be having so much fun in the meantime playing against Ultron.